Okay, so I keep on keeping on, carry on our wayward son. There will be peace when you are done. That you really hit the rest. Don't you cry no more. Quoting there. Carry on our wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. That you really hit the rest. Don't you cry no more. A little raw this morning. So you might wonder, why am I acting so normal? Going to the bathroom, things like that. Well, someone's acting weird about my channel. I don't know why. I'm just doing what I see people doing on TV, right? Right. Without having the TV soundboard or something, right? Well, that would be a problem, right? Now, when I was in the hospital, right, I did have to use the bedpan after the first 2 weeks when they put me on solid food, right? And of course, I had to pray to Jesus to, help me eat the food, right? Because I hadn't ate for 2 weeks, being on a liquid diet. Now, let's say Jesus went 40 days and 40 nights without, you know, eating regular food or anything, right? Went to the wilderness, right? Mm-hmm. That can be 40,000 years to God, right? We don't know. We don't know. That's because, the Maker sees time differently from heaven to earth, right? And, the slower something rotates, right? For example, say it takes 1,000 years for the earth to rotate on day one. When it's replenished the way it was all the way back to the beginning. Right? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. Right? By this time, and darkness was upon the surface of the deep. So this is no longer the beginning. This is a replenishing from the beginning. Now, when you keep destroying something over and over again, it becomes a loop or a pattern, right? Now, the problem is there's a good way to do things and a bad way to do things. But the bad way to do things harms people. It causes people to die. Because you are playing like you can determine another human being's fate when you're just a human being yourself, right? I think that's the real problem here. We play God too much. We get a God complex from the being called Satan, the enemy, the god of war, whatever you want to call him. Well, of course, when you start a war, someone has to defend themselves against you because you're warring against them, right? Well, Satan is warring against the mother, father, mother of us all. The Abba, Amma, Amma, Abba. Now, there's two things, though, in the Bible people often ignore. A spirit is a spirit. Matter is matter, but in Galatians, Paul refers to a Jerusalem in heaven which is free and the mother of us all. He also refers to the Jerusalem in the earth which is under bondage to Satan, right? Because of his sin, right? See, when you have a bad boy who wants to undo your creation, like say you go to the beach, you make a sandcastle, and some little kid comes and knocks it down out of spite, because he's not the creative type. And someone might have done the same thing to him, and then he starts doing it to others, right? Who knows what the problem is, right? Or something happened, and he's just mean to other people. Now, all the other little boy can do is, as he's knocking him down, either fight back, right? Which you can do too. Or let it go. Now, neither one would be wrong per se. Either. But the boy of the parents would probably prefer you to let it go, right? He's just a little spoiled, right? The other people, on the other hand, the other boy's parents would be mad with the other parents for teaching the little boy and letting the little boy get away with all that crap. Wouldn't they? And would want them to teach their child some damn manners and getting their damn act together, because my son was just building a sandcastle, and people don't normally do that when someone's building a sandcastle, especially after they're done. There's no cause for that, right? You know what I mean? That's how a war starts. Someone does something they shouldn't have done. Now, it can escalate even to, developing weapons and things like that. Now, Satan and his children are also the first to develop weapons of war to slay the enemy. Well, the problem is, the larger the weapon, the more devastating the weapon, the harder it is to fight. Because you can destroy yourself and your environment, like with nuclear warheads, neutron bombs, things of that nature. Now, a wise man, whether sane or insane, knows that's not something we need to do ever, really. But all it takes is one push of the button by this bully or this little brat, and there you have it. We're in World War III. That would be devastating for some people, most people, and could destroy over 2/3 of the population, which is right now it's about 7 billion, so that would leave about around 2 billion, right? Just rounding it up a little bit, or down, actually. And, the Bible warns of this time. So does the Hindu scriptures. In fact, that's why we're here now. Some German scientists read the Hindu scriptures and say, oh, that's a good idea. Let me build some nuclear warheads. Now, is it the Hindu scriptures fault this German but white? Don't mean to be rude to all German people. I'm sure you're not all that way. But this one guy thought it a good idea to build rockets. As mentioned in the Hindu script. Things like that. They would fly around in the air. But was it written so we would do it again or not do it? That's the question. That is the question, right? Well, it seems like we're doing it again, right? You know, you got a hotel called Atlantis in the Bahamas, past the Straits of Gibraltar. But, oh, that's not the Atlantis. What's his name was referring to? The Greek philosopher. I've got his name right now. It was another Atlantis. That's just a hotel, by the way, for us first. But it's a matter of view askew, right? Another thing about a bad guy is he thinks he's above the law. He don't have to do what the law says he can do because once you're in the flesh, you can do whatever you want, good or bad, good or bad. Another problem, knowledge of good and evil, is that you can do each other good and evil, right? And doing that good and evil to each other. I know. Now, you don't always be bad. No one's always bad. But nor are you bad enough to really, you know, not deserve a second chance. You know, that's the problem too, right? Even if you don't repent, right? You know what I mean? Some people forget that. I want to rush headlong into a problem. Okay, that'll work for now.